All right, so this video is for those students who are looking to, or that need some extra help trying to set up Turnitin.com, whether or not you haven't used it before and you need to set it up for the first time, or if you used it in the past but you don't know exactly how to enroll in a new course, or enroll in my class for Turnitin.com. And I'll also show you, if you forgot how to submit an assignment on there, I'll show you how to do that as well. So I'll cover those three things. Everything that you need for Turnitin.com, setting it up, is underneath our class stuff. This will be live after this video is done. I'll post it right away so that's on there for you. Again, class stuff, it's at the bottom here. There is a document in there that houses all my directions and the codes to get in. So it looks like this. I broke it up into a couple different sections here. This first section is how to sign up for Turnitin.com for the first time. So if you've never used it before, no other class, no other English class has ever had you set up Turnitin.com, here are the directions to set that up. Okay. Then if you're setting up for the first time right away, or if you're enrolling, you need the class ID and class enrollment keys. So you have to make sure that you pay attention to the hour that you're in. For the virtual kids, make sure you double check that you select the right hour that you would have been scheduled in. Just because it's a little bit annoying if you do the wrong one, then I have to delete you out of it, you have to re-add it, so on and so forth. So make sure that you find your correct hour. It's just easier for me to make one document. So if your first hour, this is your ID and enrollment key, second hour, sixth hour, so on and so forth. Here are directions. If you already have a Turnitin.com account through Sheboygan Area School District, so you've used it before, this is how you can just add my class, because you don't have to reset up your Turnitin.com account. Hopefully you have your password and everything saved from last year. That's what I told my students to do, to make sure that they saved their username and password so that they can automatically log in. That's a little bit easier. Then at the end of this document, this is just a review of how to submit an assignment through Turnitin.com. But I'll show you how to do this just quickly. Here's a link. The first link is to get you to Turnitin.com and bring you to their main site. If you have an account, then you click login, and I'll go over that in a second. If you have never used Turnitin.com with Sheboygan Area School District, if you've used it before with a different district, you're going to probably still have to create a new account because it's probably connected to an email account that you don't have anymore. So if you had never used it before, or you're new to Sheboygan Area School District, you need to click create an account. And then you're going to need to select student, or else it's not going to work. So you need to click student after that. And then it should say create a new student profile, and then everything else is pretty self-explanatory. First thing it's going to ask for, though, is your class ID and class enrollment key. Again, those things can be found right here. You can simply just copy and paste them over. Class ID, boom, right here. Class enrollment key, right here. All right, so make sure that you copy and paste those correct ones in, because if you don't, it's not going to work. If you do it correctly, though, right after you create your account, it's going to take you right to our page. So if you entered everything in correctly. Then you put your first name, last name. Make sure that you capitalize the first letter of your first name and last name. I don't know how many students do that. It just kind of bothers me. You are a proper noun, so capitalize yourself. All right. Leave the first name bubble there. That doesn't really matter. Email address, make sure that you type in your school email address. That is really, really important. It needs to be linked to your school email. So make sure that you use that one. I don't care what password you use. I usually tell students to use whatever password they use for a majority of their school stuff so they don't forget it, or to make sure that they save it right away. You have to have one of these security questions. Pick something that you're not going to forget. Scroll through that agreement. Actually, I don't even know if you have to scroll through it anymore. They used to make you do that. Maybe not. Select you're not a robot. I agree. Create profile. All right. That's how you do it for the first time. Now, if you already have an account through Turnitin.com, I'll show you what to do. So you have everything saved like I have in there. You log in. I have to switch over. I'm in teacher view. Hold on. Go to student view here. All right. So here is the student view. You should see this because you might have some archive classes that are no longer working, but you should see right away in the middle, enroll in a class. Click on that. It's going to ask for the class section ID and enrollment code. So that's where I'd go back to this document. I'll just do it live here for you. I'll enter class ID, this enrollment key. I know it's just key 1. That's how I do it. All right, submit. There we go. So I have the class in there, English 5, first hour. Mr. Burton's name is going to show up as the instructor, just because that's the only way that I can add him in so that both of us can be on turnitin.com at the same time. So I had to add him in like a weird way, so it's going to show up as his name, but it's really not a big deal. If you're confused on that, sorry. It's just the way that I have to do it to make sure that both Mr. Burton and I can be on the same, or can access the same classes. So to get into the class, you click on it. You will have the assignment in there. Actually, maybe I will pause that and get that turned in so that you can see it. All right, I'll pause it right here and get that assignment in there. All right, so now it should be in there. Sorry, I forgot to add that in. So you go back once you're all logged in, click on the class. Now you should see, okay, there it is. So that's the initial due date one. The revision one will be in there. I'll put that in there, I don't know, sometime before the end of the day on Tuesday, probably, of where you need to turn it in if you have to resubmit because you revised or if you missed this initial deadline. But if you never need to submit anything or how to do that, that's what I'm going to go over next. So you have the assignment. You have the blue submit button here. Submit. Always make sure that it has single file upload here at the top. Sometimes they default to cut and paste. I don't know why I'd never do that. That's bad news bears. It always messes with your formatting, ruins everything. Dreams get crushed, friendships broken. Make sure that single file upload. Your name should be already entered in there because you have it in your turnitin.com account. You have to title it something. So it doesn't really matter what you title it. Then because you have single file upload, it has these options here, really cool. Choose from Google Drive. I already have my link, so my drive shows up there for me automatically. If you've never set that up before, if you click it, it's just going to ask you to allow it, to give it access. And then, boom, it'll show up as your Google Drive. You find your summary in here. It should be one of your recents, but you can find it in there. I just selected that blank document. Select. You should see it right there. You click upload. This is a 2-step process, so this is the first time. You're not done after this. It takes you to another screen. It says, please confirm this is what you want. Turnitin.com is some serious business here. You look at it. I'm looking at it. Yeah, that looks like the thing that I want to submit. You have to click confirm. Boom. And then after this loads, it says, congratulations, it's complete. This is your receipt. Okay, this is you can copy this, show it to me. If I ever tell you, no, you didn't turn it in.com, you didn't turn it in through turnitin.com on time, you get 60%. You can show me this digital receipt. Now, if you have your school email, it emails you the receipt. So make sure that you check after every time that you submit a summative assessment through turnitin.com, you look at your school email. Did you get a emailed receipt? If I go over to my email, I should have got one. Let's see, I'll reload it. Yep, see, turnitin.com. See, I got my receipt. That is your calling card. That's your way out of it. I got a jail-free card, so to speak. A lot of students like to tell me that turnitin.com didn't work. Oh, I turned it in. I don't know why you don't see it. Impossible. It's never not worked this way. Okay. If you have the email, that means it got through. So you always check to see if you have the email. All right. I've been around the block a few times. I understand the game students play. I will always ask if you tell me that you turn it in and I don't see it. I'll ask you then forward me your email. And if I see the email that it worked, then we can maybe talk and we'll let you resubmit it and you won't have a penalty. But make sure, again, you upload, then click confirm so you get to that final screen. All right, so that's how you use Turnitin.com, the basics. I forgot really to explain why we use this program, but just in a nutshell, we use it for two different reasons. One, it does make sure that we have a way of tracking that students are producing their own work, because it shows if the program shows if your paper or your whatever you submit is copied directly from things on the internet. Also compares it to all the different students that have turned things in through Turnitin.com, whoever uses the program in multiple years. So it makes sure that we double check that you're not turning in the same thing as another student has the same year or multiple years, or students that have had the class before. It checks against all that. Which is great. I guess I've caught students trying to cheat through Turnitin.com before. I don't know why, because it shows up as 100% matched, plagiarized, but students still try to do it. The second reason is that I always allow you to see your similarity report. Whenever you submit a document through Turnitin.com, if I went back to my assignment list here, it's still processing my report. It's taking a while. I don't know why. But as soon as it was done, I could take a look at this and it would show me how similar my paper was to somebody else. So I like you to be able to see that because I always let you revise and resubmit up into the due date of whenever I have an assignment open, so that you can see what areas are highlighted. Okay, is just my quotes highlighted? Are other sections highlighted? Oh, maybe I didn't do a good job of paraphrasing. I use it as a tool so that you can learn, so that you can make sure that you're better, so that you're not plagiarizing as well. I don't just use it as a gotcha tool. I use it as a learning tool, as well as it gives me, there's a lot of cool options for me to give you direct feedback. I can upload my rubrics in there. So there's just teacher reasons as well that I like using this system. All right, so that's how to use it. If you have any questions on that, let me know, but there should be the video in there for you shortly.